Hey guys, it's Alex here with another tip from Fly Fish Fork out here on beautiful Lake Fork. It is a beautiful day. It's a little windy and it's going to get windier. We have a cold front coming in, and I wanted to talk to you about some boating safety while you're fishing, because I had a spill the other day. I hit a stump. I'm standing up here in the deck of my boat and I fell down and I ended up on the lower deck on my back. I simply could not control how I fell, and I could have injured myself. I got lucky and my injuries were minor, but it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse. And so I thought this would be an opportune time to talk to you guys and gals about a safety tip that I try and practice as much as I can, particularly when I'm fishing alone, which is often because I'm a fly fisherman on Lake Fork and I don't have a whole lot of company most of the time. Anyway, I have started wearing my automatic inflatable vest when I'm up on my deck on a windy day. Part of the reason right now is that Lake Fork is about 2.5 feet low, and certain times of year it's not unusual that in the fall and the summer we'll get down 2 to 3 feet. 3 feet's pretty normal this time of year, and it gets very, very dangerous in this lake because of stumps. And a lot of lakes are like this. When they get low, the old stumps the old trees that were left in them that are now stumps under the water turn into water obstacles, and they can be very dangerous. They can either knock you like mine did, where the wind blew my boat sideways. I didn't see the stump and it hit it really hard and it just knocked me off my feet. I could have ended up in the water, which wouldn't have been good either, because it's quite possible I would have been impaled because there's so many stumps under the water. And so it's dangerous all around. So here's my tip. First of all, if you have a life jacket that you can fish in, wear that while you're fishing in the wind, just to make sure that if you fall in the water, you know you'll be floating if you're knocked unconscious. The other thing is to just be super aware of where you are in these stumpy waters. You're just going to have to stand on the bow of your boat, and you're going to have to learn to work around them. It's really easy to get hung up on them. I have found that when I get hung up on a stump in my boat, and my boat's got a pretty flat bottom, so it's going to be different in a fiberglass boat. I'm in a aluminum boat, but on this flat bottom boat, it'll ride up on a stump and get hung pretty easy. And what I've learned to do instead of fighting it is just turn my trolling motor around and push backwards back off that stump. And I 9 times out of 10 can get off it pretty easy. Now occasionally, if the wind's pushing me or if I'm underway with my big motor, I'm going to get up on one that I just have to use the big motor to get off of. So, and I've had a couple of occasions I've had to be pulled off of them, so that could happen too. Don't feel bad about it. It happens to all of us eventually. The other thing is, when you're motoring with your big motor through these stumpy waters, tilt your motor up. A lot of people, I have damage. I can't keep a prop on my boat that's not damaged. They sound like whopper ploppers going through the water because I hit so many stumps with them. So tilt your motor up so that when your motor will ride up over a stump and possibly keep your prop from hitting it and bending a blade on your prop. It's pretty easy to do. These new props, I don't know if they make them with hardened steel anymore. I know they're stainless steel and all that, but they're all made overseas and they're soft, and when you hit something with them, you'll end up bending that part of that prop. And I know I talked to a friend of mine the other day that a guide that went out with a client of his, and he hit one and it busted the prop itself, and he had a real good prop on there, so it can happen. And so tilt that motor up and take your time. Don't get in here if you're not familiar with the lake, if you're not familiar with where you're going. This lake in particular, and a lot of lakes, have large areas of stumps underwater from where they left the trees when they flooded the lake. if you're not familiar with the lake, don't just assume that if you don't see a stump, it's not there. It's under the water. Look at what other boaters are doing and follow their trail, and be cautious. Don't get out there and just gun it and think you're going to be okay. There are a lot of trees on this lake that have lower units stuck in them. And I'm not kidding, it happens. And so be very, very cautious. Remember, there's nothing holding you in that boat. So when you hit a stump, you can throw yourself or another person out of that boat really, really easy. And so use some common sense and make sure that you have that kill switch locked in on your life jacket when you're under power with the big motor, just in case something happens and you get thrown from your boat. That kill switch is what will save your life, by turning off that motor and not having the boat run back over you. That's my tip for the day. I hope you have a great day. The next time you're on the water, give me a call, leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to hear more of these tips. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.